We live. We live waiting for Mo, y'all. I ain't shit. As I'm talking to yo, faithful listeners. I'm talking to Mo on the jack. I might put him on the jack just so y'all can see. But yeah, I'm talking to Mo, man. It don't sound good, y'all. Don't sound good. Mo, he got a new phone. Mo, chill, son. Yo, Mo, can I have my content, bro? Can I- so no, bro. Everybody wants to know why you're not here. And I'm just saying, like, yo, so Mo's not here because we have some technical difficulties. But at the end of the day, Mo warned me earlier about me, being prepared and how I should be better prepared for the show. And every time I move, no, Mo, can you focus on what you're doing, bro? So Mo was saying like how I should be better prepared for the show. If I want to use a new camera, don't like don't like do it at the last minute. And I was like, word, son, like, yo, you right, son. You making me feel like a real piece of shit. But you right about that. So like I got a new mic, right? And I'm excited about this mic. But I was gonna hook it up to the 268 because I can get like I know I can get like a better sound, right? And Mo came in my head and it was like, yo, dude, don't try any new creative shit because it's not gonna be good. Like it's not gonna be like what you need it to be for the show. And I was like, you know what? Mo's right. What are you saying, Brooke? He can jump his life. Yo, Brooke, everything that you're saying, I feel like Mo and I went over, but we didn't have a lot of time, so he's trying to do it himself now. Here he comes. Maybe he can come in and but hey Mo,
I still can't see you either.
can you hear?
So
Actually,
let's let's talk about that.
Mo, do we know if we can hear you? Brooke, can you hear Mo? Can we get a thumbs up if you can hear Mo? Because if you can
you
hear
hear
Mo,
me?
I'll just hang up the phone. So I don't know if I can hear you perfect, bro. I don't know if she can hear you. If she can hear you, we good. Hey, Brooke, can you hear Mo good, Brooke?
Wow, bro.
Big echo from Mo. Oh, hold on, Mo. I got you. I got the big O. Oh, my shit's not letting me use the echo cancel and shit. Hold on, Mo. I wonder why we have this. Mo, hit this hit back one more time, bro.
Hit back one more time.
Bro, try to call back. Call back one more time. Oh no, y'all. Let me see. I'm gonna try to use this echo canceling joint. Yo.
Yeah, I still can't see anything.
Yo, so maybe that's gonna take the echo off. So talk, Mo, to see if you could talk. See if Mo could talk, Brooke, if you can hear Mo without the echo now, he should be fine. Part of my shot, cause my shot look crazy. It's like I'm going to heaven on this side. It's just poor lighting on my part. And then if it gets on my nerves enough. Yeah, so Brooke, how about now? Mo, try to talk now, cause I just hung up the phone with him. How about now, bro? We doing this live. Oh, I know what this is. Watch this. While we wait for Mo. Mm. Mo, mo, mo. You good, Mo? You still can't hear me? Yeah, I know, bro. He's not talking. Mo, want me to call you on the jack? Hold on, bro.
Yo,
Yeah, nothing?
I mean, I'm on.
I hear you. I hear
I hear you.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but it's not on my end.
but you can't see.
But you can't see. You can't see either.
I can't see. I can just see. I can't see you. I can't hear you. Nothing.
Fuck this. Put this show on your TV or something.
But you can't.
You can't. But you said you can't hear me. You can't.
101?
I can only hear you through the phone.
Damn.
Yup. I can only hear you through the phone.
So, how about try to call in the show through your phone?
Let me see. All right.
Want me to text you the link?
Nah, I got the link.
Yeah, try to do that and do it to your phone. That might make sense. All right,
One. I think he did some fucked up shit. As soon as he saw that I had fucking now all of a sudden that I have like a fucking 8G phone, now all of a sudden I'm having problems.
Mo. I had the whole shit on mute. Mo. Mo, you hear me? Yo, so what's going on now, y'all, is Mo is because he's got a new phone, so he's trying to come in from his phone because there's something wrong with the link or whatever where he couldn't hear or see. Even though like I saw him and I heard him, he couldn't. So we just waiting to see what comes out of it. But what I was saying before is that it's Time and Soul on my shirt. This is my man Uncle Hotep made these shirts, right? And I bought it because I thought it was dope. And I wore it last year on Black History Month too. My sound is back. Mo's sound is coming. He's just Mo, can you hear me? I think Mo is legit trying to write the link down instead of copy and pasting the link. Here he comes. So, all right, so there's Mo coming again with another joint. Oh, okay. Ooh, the other one is hot.
See, I can hear you.
Oh,
I can't see you.
Mo, I can hear you, and yo, bro, this sound, like, this picture is way better than you ever had, bro. This shit is crazy.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I can't see you.
You can't see me at all?
No.
All right, bro. So
and nobody can hear you either.
No, everybody can hear me, bro. You're looking at old news, bro. Everybody can hear me and hear you, I believe. Talk.
I'm good.
Yeah, you good. We good, man.
All right.
All right. Yeah, I think your mom was on. Your mother's on.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey, Mom. Yo, you did something. I don't listen. I don't like how you was talking about me.
Yeah, Mo, go.
How you were making it out like it was my fault, but I can't see you.
It was my fault, Mo.
Yeah, something you did, something that you did, it was making this drag the way that it is.
Yo, Mo, you should. Yo, you know what's so funny? I know I spoke to you earlier, and I was like, "Yo, Mo, your phone got an 8K camera. You didn't even use it. You didn't even try to use it. Because now I try to style with your shit.
Working.
Yeah, I try to style with it. Now I got to bring it down because you got to, like, I thought you had your joint on 4K. You got your joint on 720.
Bro.
I got to get the people that.
I work, bro. I work.
So what? Me too.
So I didn't get out of work till 7. So, like, actually, I'll take that back. I got out of work for like 6.
I'm never out of work.
Oh my God. Here we go. All right. What do we got?
Mo,
hey guys, how you doing?
Mo, as a parent, you're never out of work, bro. I'm a parent. I'm a full-time parent.
Stop it. Because you know what? You were making me out to sound horrible. You were making me sound horrible.
So that's what you do? That's what you're doing back?
I'm not doing anything back. I'm just telling you what I heard.
Mo, you just have something against single parents, and I think, like, you want to unpack it?
Bro, I don't have anything against single parents. That's not the issue. The issue is you were bad-mouthing me. That's the issue.
So
you were making me out. You said, well, you know, I thought of Mo, and Mo said, don't try anything new, blah, blah, blah.
Mo, did you not say that? Did you not say that?
Hold up. I was here. I was on, and you weren't here. So then I had to shut it down.
Yo, Mo,
and then I turned it back on because I thought it was something on my end.
Did you not say that though?
What?
Everything I
said
said
was on your end?
No, everything that I said, like, yo, Mo, you said, yo, don't try no new shit, this, that, and the third. Did you do that?
Yeah, I said that. But you're the way that you're faking it out. You're like, oh, don't try no new stuff. And now Mo's late coming in. That's the way you're making it sound.
Oh, so that's how you feel? Because I'm explaining to
it's like painting a picture and letting other people like, hey, you know, I'm here, Mo isn't. So you guys make up your own mind.
But legit,
it's an influence. It's an influence thing.
Okay, so we're influencers, right? So do you think our audience did not deserve to know what was going on, according to me? If I'm the only voice right, ready?
But the thing is, don't make me sound like I wasn't here. Don't make it sound like, oh,
bro,
it's
the audience.
No,
bro, they can see you. They can see you. They saw you.
Right? Yeah, they can see me.
So what are you saying?
I can't see you. What's going on there?
Yo, you know what's crazy, Mo? I'm gonna have to dial down my picture because yo, your picture looks good now, but I think it's only at 720. But it looks good though, bro. It looks good.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. So you have anything else besides crying?
Besides what?
Besides crying?
What's that? Besides crying?
Yeah.
No one's crying. I just wanted you to understand that I didn't appreciate the way that you made it sound.
So your mom's right now, right? She's doing exactly what my mom's be doing. She think that we arguing, but she should know your smile. That if you mad, it's not like yeah. Sorry, moms, you're right though, because I guess people don't like that, but it is what it is. Mo, what would you say about yourself that makes you different from all your friends?
That makes me different than all my friends.
Yeah. Hold on. And Brooke wants us to start with our usual, and you can think about that. So our usual is, how was your week, Mo?
I mean, my week was real good. Me and Brooke had another week of bowling. And we're I'm slowly starting to get into the thinking more like a professional when it comes to bowling, opposed to like just going out there and playing for fun. Granted, yesterday I tried some other stuff, but it was just because it was a fun league. But we're I'm now slowly starting to look more like into trying to be more like a pro. So but it was a really good week. We actually I know I'm all over the place, but we actually got a new somebody new started with us at our job, so we welcome her. But I mean, other than that, it's just been the same grind. My birthday is on Tuesday.
Let's go.
Yep, I'm gonna be 39. Yeah, I'm gonna be 39, and I still feel young. I don't even feel like it. Yeah, 39 years young.
Still act 30. You still acting 37 though.
Is that your opinion, or is that a question?
In my opinion.
That's your opinion. Okay.
I'm allowed that.
Well, everybody has their right to their own opinion. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Jessability is in our chat. I don't know who that is. It's part new. Salute Jessability.
So what makes me act like a 37-year-old?
I think it's a general statement. I think that I wouldn't take any offense to it. People could say I act like a 12-year-old. Don't care.
No, I'm asking a question. What makes you think that I act like a 37-year-old?
No, so I said that to invoke something in you and it worked. It worked.
It didn't work. I'm just asking a question after you made a statement.
It worked.
How? What worked? I don't even know what you're trying to do.
It did what I wanted it to do.
You're avoiding the question.
No, it was a general statement. It was a silly question, but it was to see how secure you were about being 39.
I mean, I'm very secure about it. It's just that you're saying that I act 37, so I'm like, okay, well, how do I act 37?
I'm saying it's an obvious joke because you act the same way when you're 37, 38, 39. I would think.
Oh, okay.
Or no.
So now you're a funny man now. That's what you are. You're a funny man. Okay.
God, bro.
I got you. I got you, funny man. All right. How was your week?
My week was it was crazy, bro, because like I went to Vermont. Because I always like to just go see like who got the best weed, whatever. So I went to Vermont, and I went to bro. You got to come out there with me one day, bro. And you probably know about it. It's a joint I think it's called Beaners or Burners Pizza. Son,
okay.
That shit is like the best pizza I ever had in my life.
Really?
Yeah, and it was like, so I go to the dispensary, right? So I go cop some trees, and I'm like, yo, what's like the best food around here? I just want to smoke and eat, right? And then she was like, "Yo, it's a shit called Burners right down the block, or Beaners or whatever." And they make their pizza like the whole bread is garlic bread. You know what I mean? And it was like a 30-minute wait, but I didn't care.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
I did that. I don't know, bro. I think I'm about to start a Airbnb. I don't know, bro. I got like so much like different. I just gotta start writing shit down because like all my ideas just turn into, I just gotta write this.
Well, I mean, I think it has something to do with the fact that there's so many things that you want to do just right now. You've got all this time now to do things, and it's not to make it sound bad or anything like that. It's just you just have so much time to do things and to enjoy your retirement. So I think that at this point you're just kind of like you're used to doing things already. So when you finally stop and you can breathe air and you're like, damn, I gotta keep going. You don't want to stop. You're so used to being on the go that when you have time, like when you have like it's like taking 2 weeks off from work.
Yeah.
And by 6 days of you being off, you kind of miss it. You kind of miss the banter at work. You kind of miss the people at work. And before you know it, Wednesday comes around and you're just like, I kind of want to go back to work.
That's how you be
Not
feeling?
to work, just because of the people that you're around. And so I think that at this point with you're so used to being on the go and you're ambitious and you want to do things that now you have all this time to do it. And you've got all these ideas in your mind to, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that. And sorry about my dog.
Yeah, so you echoing stuff.
They said I'm echoing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Your dog is crazy. The tech issue. Yo, but you know what I'm thinking, bro? You coming in through your phone, right?
I'm a step ahead of you.
Yeah. Word.
I'm gonna try doing the headphones real quick.
Because they got,
We'll
I
see
mean,
if it
I don't know how, I know you a Android dude, but on Apple, if I plug my phone in, I can isolate where it's only my voice. Yeah, but that camera on your phone is really good, bro. That camera, yeah, that camera's really good. Like to the point where if you came on 10 minutes earlier, we could have did some like joint to that. Like it's a really good camera. Now I can't hear you.
Trying to do something on my phone and
But don't come in wirelessly. You have a wire?
No, I don't have a wire. They didn't give me a wire.
No, a wire for your headphones.
No, they didn't give me. They didn't give me that. They didn't. I don't have all my headphones now are wireless.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
All my headphones now are wireless.
I'm gonna show you some headphones. Like you see these headphones?
I can't see anything.
Oh, you can't see it. Yo, these is $20 headphones, bro. My fault. These are $20 headphones. It's so crazy how you can't see on your phones. Or you now you I'm backlight. I'm back. This is the back camera.
Wait, hold on a second. I just did something with my headphones, but they obviously messed up.
Yo, this
I don't know. My headphones were working for a second.
Yeah, you probably need some new headphones. Yo, what's the last thing you said these nuts to?
No, these are beats.
What that mean? They're not working.
They work. The beats they work fine. It's just right now it's not coming in for whatever reason.
Mm.
But It's a work in progress.
Yeah, I love it.
You know.
Forget it. Just forget it. What's the last thing you said these nuts to?
What's that?
What's the last thing you said these nuts to?
These nuts. I don't think I said it to anyone.
You never said these nuts in your life?
The last person that I said it to? I don't remember.
What's the last time you said these nuts?
I think when I wore a shirt that said these nuts, so that was probably maybe a month or two ago. I don't know who I said it to.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know who I said it to though.
You had a shirt that said these nuts?
Yeah.
Oh.
It says life is good when you have big nuts. And it's got a picture of two squirrels with acorns.
So you said big nuts or these nuts?
No, big nuts.
Oh,
and so then I said to somebody these nuts.
Okay.
Yeah. That was the last time that I said that though. That's a weird question.
Yeah, it's just a general question. That's when I was trying
to
say.
Is it though?
Yeah, bro, because like I'm super distracted because like you got like you still getting ready type shit. Nah, so I'm just trying to like, lighten the mood a little bit.
Well, you had asked the question about you asked the question about what do I do differently than my friends?
Yeah.
I don't think I do. It depends on a friend, but I don't think I do much different than my friends.
What?
Yeah, I mean most of my friends are like me.
Oh.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't. There's not much that I do differently than my friends. No.
Well, no, that's dope.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
We friends?
Yeah, I don't do much differently than.
We friends? We do mad shit different.
But I mean, there's not a lot that I do differently than. There's not. You know what I mean? What can I say that I do differently than you? Yeah, it's not a lot. We both have the same type of values. We, I guess I don't have any children, but we both care for the people that are around us. We want to be around positive people. I think that if I have to choose anything, the one thing that I do differently than my friends is that I am very aware of what I want. Like super aware. Whereas some people will sacrifice things. A lot of times I won't. And some people might say it's selfish, but I say, you only have one life to live, so you can't live your life based off of what other people feel that you should live your life. You know what I mean? You shouldn't base it off of that. You should base it off of how you feel about things and the things that you find are important. So for example, and I know I talk about bowling a lot, but for example, everybody comes up to me in a bowling alley and says, "You're bowling like 5 and 6 days a week. Like you're crazy." And my friends come up to me and say that. And it's because it's something that I like. And I'm very aware of the things that I like and that I want to do. And I said that I wanted to be a pro one day. And so in order to do that, you have to get your reps up. You have to do what you can to be better. And if that means that I have to watch extra film, I have to, I have to bowl a little bit more and start doing things so that I can start seeing, start doing more things involving bowling. And that's what I would have to do. But this time next year, I want to be the best person in any league that I bowl in. And those are the type of things you have to do in order to be the best at what you do.
Facts.
And so And so, with that said, I'm very in tune with the things that I like to do. Whereas other people will sacrifice what they like to do with what others like to do.
Nah, that's a dope one. I would say I would mirror that shit. But you know what's crazy? Brooke said that you had a D's Nuts candle you forgot about.
I do have a D's Nuts. I have
Come on, son.
I do have a D's Nuts candle.
Son, I put it.
She bought it for me.
I put it by the rim for you, bro.
Yeah, she bought it for me. It actually smells really good. I can't lie. It smells like mocha. It's the weirdest thing. But it smells great. It smells phenomenal.
Yeah. Word.
What about you? Do you have any? Would you say the same thing, or would you have a different answer?
I would say the same thing, bro. Because it's like podcasting. Like, this is my passion, obviously, right? And it's like, yo, I tell all my friends about this shit, and I'm like, yo, however anybody can help, like, yo, I'll be with that shit. Anybody, even if it like leads me astray, I still be with it because like I'm a community person. You know what I mean? Like I depend on my friends for everything and family. You know what I mean? So like that's who I am.
Right,
So I get that, you know, and I think a lot of like our background is similar, so we understand like how important community is, and like we've relied on people on many occasions to see some dope output come out, and we've seen it. And now I'm just talking about the military, but like, yeah, we've seen it what teamwork does. And I think more than anyone, right? And I think that a lot of times, a lot of, I would say like civilian friends don't really like understand like how, because everybody always says they want to be like a part of a team or whatever, and like, but like when it comes to like being in the shit together, like that's why I think that a disconnect is between like say like regular friends and like military friends, because like military friends is like, yeah, bro, shit you about to do, this shit gonna suck, everybody knows it, everybody sees it, like let's go, we gonna do it, you know what I mean? And everybody else, to me, civilian friends is more like, yo, how's that going? You know what I mean?
I think that a lot of people say what sounds good.
Yeah,
right. So they will say something like, I want to be a part of a team. You know, I like team building. I like chemistry. You know, I like these things. You know, but what they forget is that they want, not only do they want to be a part of a team, but they want to be a part of a successful team. That's the first thing.
Right.
And in order to be a successful team, you have to know what role you play to be successful. And I think what ends up happening is everybody wants to be Kobe, right? Everybody wants to be Jordan. Nobody wants to be Rodman. And that's really what it comes down to is you have to know your role in order to be successful. And some people want to fill those bigger shoes. And what ends up happening is they overstep boundaries, right? And if somebody plays the role of the superstar, then somebody who is your assist man or your steal man or someone who does a specific job on your team, they want to now take on more responsibility, even though somebody else does that responsibility better. And I think that you have to recognize that in order to be a part of a successful team. Sometimes you have to take a step back. Even if you know that you can do a specific job, you have to understand that right now there's somebody in that role that can do that job better.
Right. So it was like, so
You know,
what sparked that joint was like, what sparked that question is like, I was watching, like, I went down like this crazy Kobe rabbit hole today, right? And it was like when you know when the USA played Spain, and he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna go right." I think it was on the Redeem Team, like the documentary.
I'm gonna run straight into Pau Gasol.
Right, and like the ill shit is like LeBron, like Wade and them, they knew he was a dog, but they ain't think he was going to do that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it set the
Yeah,
tone.
because-
It was like a slap.
Yeah, because the thing is that Powell didn't know. Powell knew that he studied the game film. He knows how crazy Kobe was, but he didn't think he would go as far as I might risk hurting my teammate.
Mm-hmm.
In order to send a message.
Right.
And I think in an interview, Powell said he sent me a message.
Right.
I knew what that was. And Kobe didn't even help him up.
Yo, bro, you wanna know the
You
crazy
know.
shit? You know the rest of that story?
No.
Yo, so like Kobe mad petty. So like, I want to say it was either preseason game 1 or like game 1 of the season. Yo, he in Paul's locker, he had like in his jersey, he had like the gold medal there for him. Like yo, bro, we went through you for this. It's like, don't even complain about it now. Like, we got a chip to win.
Man.
That's
Yeah.
classic Kobe, right? I think Brooke had a dope question, and it goes, when was the time in your life when you realized you didn't want to be a part of a particular team, and why did you leave? Oh, that's me, the Army shit. And like, I left because I would say like I was like retired, more than like anything, but it was like, yo, like everything was like corny. You know what I mean? To me, it was like you said, like the handshake, people's handshake wasn't matching their smile. And it was like, to me, it was like, yo, I can't be at a place like this where it's like I'm being tolerated. You know what I mean? Or it was like, it was funny. It seemed just like funny going there every day. And I was like, yo, I'm not gonna waste my life on no shit like this. When Mo is when Mo is one of the realest people at a place, you gotta go. Word. I'll fuck with you, Mo. I want to see if you was listening. Nah, but that's a fact. No, but that's a whole. You got a bug. Yo, but it's a fact though. Well, it's a fact when I would say when the majority is fake, like it feels fake. It doesn't, and I'm not saying like fake people. It's just like genuine, where it was like genuine concern, and that shit wasn't there. It was like, or even concern or care. I was like, I could blow it, like, because people always look at it like, yeah, you leave money on the table and shit. But I look at it like, yo, you could die. You know what I mean? Like, yo, bro, when I was like on the job and shit, yo, bro, they had me taking blood pressure medication, all this anti-heart attack shit. And I was like, yo, bro, like, I don't feel like I'm about to do that shit. It's like, yo, did you look at your shit? I was like, oh, shit's serious now. Because when you start reaching them latter ages, you start to look at it like, oh, and then I start to get that shit in my head, like, I ain't gonna die before I fucking before I'm able to figure out like purpose and shit, and like able to like start climbing towards it. And it was like the doctor was like, yo, it's like, if you don't take this shit, you will die. And I was like, nah, I just need to smoke some weed. Yo, bro, you laugh, but yo, my shit down. My shit down. Yeah, bro, and I never took none of that pill. Aunt's mother, my aunt Vanessa, she put me on. She was like, yo, don't take those shits. Like, she didn't say smoke weed, but she was like, yo, see if you could do some other things or whatever. And I was like, yo,
Self-medicate.
yeah, because they had me like they had me taking like a joint, like a pill every day for my heart. And I was like, nah, bro, I'm not getting a heart attack. I'm not gonna risk a heart attack. But yeah, I was smoking mad cigarettes too. I was smoking a pack of cigarettes a day, bro. But then it was like, cigarettes is not no shit. I enjoy smoking cigarettes like a motherfucker. Like, I enjoy smoking cigarettes with you because like that's how we used to talk, right? I don't smoke cigarettes no more. We don't talk. So we so when I stopped working, I was like, yo, are you still smoking? And then like I stopped smoking. And it was like, yo, because the stresses and shit is not there. And I was like, yo, I want to travel the world.
People say what they want about me, like when I smoke cigarettes and things. But realistically, I think what happens is people look at smoking like they look at the person who's got the thing in there, that thing where they talk and dance.
Yeah.
They look at it like that. They look at it like the people who smoke about 2 packs a day.
Yeah,
You
word.
know, and I think people don't understand how little I actually smoke. Like I don't smoke a lot. A lot of times it's because of stress. Because I can, if I'm home, and Brooke can attest to this. I won't even go out. I may go out in the morning and have one. I may go out at night and have one.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't. When I'm comfortable, when I'm fine, when I'm not stressed out,
Word.
I don't even think about it.
But
Until
that's how
people will say, "Well, why don't you quit?"
Yeah.
And I look at them like, "Why the hell should I? Because you think I should quit?" You know, and it's like, no, like people have their own thing. You know, people can.
Everybody has a vice.
People who,
Everybody has a vice.
Yeah, like people.
We're not gonna say
Somebody who decides, hey, you know what, I'm gonna go out a couple of times, or maybe once a month, and have a couple of drinks.
Yeah.
I go to a bowling alley. There may be one time in 4 months that I will have a drink. But for the most part, I drink soda at the bowling alley. So that's their thing. Mine is every once in a while, I'll have a cigarette here and there.
Yeah.
And that's my choice. Other people, they have their own choices. But yeah, we just went down a rabbit hole.
Let me tell you
what was the question?
So
Brooke had a question, actually.
I'll read it. I'll read it, and you can answer it because you can't see.
Okay. Right.
So it says, when was the time in your life when you realized you didn't want to be a part of a particular team, and why? And why did you leave?
So you already said you said army.
Yeah.
I don't want to take yours or have a story for it because there were times where I was ready to leave.
Yeah.
Luckily I had
Me.
the right people around me who luckily I had the right people around me who convinced me to do otherwise. But
say, Mo, stick it out. Mo, stick it out.
But it wasn't. I don't want to say that it was because of the whole team. I think that it was because of the way that certain individuals would they would just kind of treat me, and the worst part is they didn't think that I saw like what was going on.
Yeah.
They have to remember that I've been in at the time. I've been in for 15, 16 years.
Talk heavy,
And I
Mo.
can see things.
Talk heavy, Mo.
And so when I saw those things, I'm looking like, wow, like so this is how you treat me. This is really how it is. And so at the time, I did want to leave. I had they were talking about renewing my contract, but that was more of. It wasn't anyone in particular. It was somebody in particular. It wasn't the whole team. There are a lot of great people that I work alongside with, and there are people who actually care. But then what goes along with that is there are people who actually don't give a shit about you. And the worst part is that they will smile in your face and act like they're the most caring person.
Just say
and they're really not.
Just say Huguenot, son. Nah,
That's my boy.
Nah, that's I'm messing with you. Yo,
that's my boy.
But dig this. Yo, so like, if you could interview me, right? What's 3 questions you would like? How would you start that interview? Like, what's 3 questions you would jump off or 1 question you would jump off the top and ask? Or like, how would you spark the interview? Because we supposed to do that. Remember, we supposed to do like, well, when we got in studio more, it was like I was gonna go to your studio and you was gonna interview. I was gonna interview you, and then you could come to my studio, or you could come to my studio. I can interview you, and I can come to your studio, and you can interview me.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to, if just off the top of the, just off the top, I think
Don't.
I would ask. I don't want to ask anything corny. That's kind of corny. I think I would start with your childhood. You know, I mean, what made you what trials and you know what happened in your life and what life lessons did you learn to make you the person that you are today? Like what are the most important things that you feel are the life lessons that kind of molded who you are? And I mean, it can
That's crazy.
things
That's
like
crazy.
that. It's such a laundry list of things, but I mean,
Because I know you though.
there are key things.
Because I know you though, I would tell you that would be a softball to me. It's like it's a similar answer to you. I would think it's like, yo, having a dad, bro, is big, right? You know what I mean? Like, yo, because I had a dad. A lot of this shit, I would think that would be fucked up for other people, and people would consider fucked up is not for me because I had a father. You see what I'm saying? And I would think
but that's how I would start. But that's how I would start the interview. That was the question.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm not going to start. I'm not going to start the interview off with something where you have to really dive deep in. It's more of something where it's an easy question because you lived it.
Yeah, I would get messy.
You know, so huh?
I would get messy. I would start my shit off messy.
Yeah, you would, but not me. I like to lead into those types of questions.
For sure.
Yeah. What about you?
What do you mean?
How would you start off an interview with me?
I always start every interview. Anytime I'm inquisitive in people, I always ask them like, it's always like a relationship shit, like their preferences. Because especially like if I know, like, see, I know you're shorty a little bit, right? So I'll be like, yo, like, I'm interested in the courtship. Because that's very important to me. Because to me, like, especially if I'm interviewing a man, it's like, that's a man's most vulnerable time. Like, unless a man is in discovery, courtship is like where you could be like, oh yeah, I bought her 3 roses, she laughed, or you know what I mean? Like, you slapping shit against the wall. So like that's my shit.
Okay.
Mo, can you move a little bit to the left?
To the left?
Yeah, right there. Oh, perfect. Yeah, not a little bit. Now you send it right now because you was on like you was at like side of your face, but nah, man. That's why I would ask.
Oh, I was leaning forward like this.
Right.
That's fine.
Because like for me, right, in a woman, like all I look for is honesty at first, and like to me, like honesty, integrity, just like integrity, like those are big values for me. It's anything to me. Anything else we could work on, as long as like a girl's honest and like she has integrity. Anything else we could work on might not be the same.
So your question to me would be about relationships.
Yeah, it would be like it
my
would be
relationship with Brooke.
Nah, not with Brooke. It just in general, like how you court. You know what I mean? Like so basically, back to like podcast 1, right? Like, what are your non-negotiables that you would like? You could be attracted to a woman, but like, what would take you off attraction? And then it's like, how do you vet that in your picking process, if for lack of a better term?
I mean, I think any it's hard. Those things are hard to detect. You know, certain things are very hard to really detect. And so for me, it would be anyone who is going to not allow me to be myself, especially someone that does it at such a slow rate that they think that you don't see it.
Yeah, Brooke said, Brooke said, you know how you courted me. It was on the episode I was on. See,
How what?
She goes, you know how you courted me? It was the episode I was on. And like, that's the type of shit that I'm interested in. It's like, yo, like, she could think that, but like, even if you knew that, like, I'm interested in that part of the process. That's me.
So I mean, like I was saying, I certain things where like if she doesn't allow me to be who I am and myself, and she does that at such a slow rate that it's like she thinks that it's undetectable. Something like that would really bother me.
Right.
So for example, if let's say that me and Brooke were we just started out, and so she starts saying, "Oh, well, hey, like we're going out, we're going out to dinner," and she says, "Oh, you're gonna wear that? Something innocent." Oh, well, I was gonna wear this. I figured, we kind of match up. All right.
Oh shit.
And then before you know it, she's now laying out your clothes that you're gonna wear.
Oh, like Kanye.
And so you're dressing in a way that you don't want to dress, but you know that she won't go out and do anything unless you dress a specific way. And so what I do to counter something like that is I not only do I dress the way that she doesn't want me to dress, but I start dressing like that everywhere I go.
Oh,
Because if you're gonna accept me, then you have to accept me. Just like if I'm gonna if I'm with you and I want to be with you, then I have to accept who you are. And I'm big on people being themselves.
Yo, so I don't know. Oh, damn, my TV is fucked up. So, like, yo, listen. So there's a podcast. I sent it to you, Man School Tour 2. I'm gonna try to get Dante to come on the show. He said some real shit, and that's what prompted that. He said, like he has OCD, so like he was messing with a girl, and she kept leaving the counters open, in the kitchen, and like he kept reminding her about it. And then like one Saturday, he woke up early and he just took all the doors off. I'm like, yo, so that's like some psychopath shit. But now I'm talking to you, like that is Mo to the extreme though. That's the extreme version of what you just said, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
I agree.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I would go that far, but it is the extreme version of what I just said.
Right, because my wife, right? Let me tell you some similar shit that happened in my relationship, right? So my wife, I'm like a chronic no cap on anything and put back in the refrigerator type shit, right? The refrigerator, right? And like she hates that shit. It's like she started like just like I don't know if she was stacking them or she was throwing the liquid away. But you know me, so I'm just buying. When I get like in like mama mentality, I'll just go buy new shit, right?
Right.
But she was just like she kept reminding me like, yo, you got to put the cap on shit because she was dropping shit, and she was like, yo, how come you can't screw shit back on? And then like I'm like, yo, why is that shit that fucking important to you? But now talking to you about this shit is like, yeah, that shit irritation could fuck somebody's shit up. That was good. No?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I think that people like and like I was saying before, people will settle, and they will make certain sacrifices, But the problem that happens is I may make an extreme sacrifice, like the example I just gave.
Right.
What I'm wearing when I go out.
Yo, Brooke, hold on.
So
Brooke goes, Mo wears his comfy clothes everywhere we go. I like that he's comfortable enough to in himself they can do that.
Right. Yeah. No, I get that. I know how she is. I know how she. I get it.
But shout out, that's fly. She said that.
Yeah, but the thing is that if I make that sacrifice, right, and I say, hey, you know what, you can dress me however way you want to dress me,
Yeah, that's okay.
whatever,
Yeah. Okay.
right? So then now, in turn, eventually what ends up happening
Mhm.
is you're gonna want that person to make that same sacrifice somewhere along the line, and that's where marriages start to crumble.
Ooh.
Because you're starting to expect that person to make that same sacrifice, and now that they don't do that, it makes you resent them, and it makes them, in your eyes, the person who's made the sacrifice, it makes you feel like they're being selfish
So
because they're not willing to make that same sacrifice that you've already made.
So I know what you're saying. So what I call that is right. I call it the war chest mentality, right? Because so what you're saying is people build the war chest. I got some shit on my mouth. So you're saying people build the war chest of things that they really desire. So they make the sacrifice of, oh, maybe I don't like cooking dinner, but I don't like cooking dinner on Monday. But if I cook dinner on Monday for 6 months, I'm gonna ask him to cook dinner on Tuesday, and if he doesn't make tacos, he owes me because I did this for 6 months, even though okay, yeah, that's toxic.
Yeah, I mean, it's more along the lines of, you know, if Brooke, let's say every Monday, Brooke cooks dinner,
Yeah,
and I cook the rest of the week, and I don't mind it, I don't really mind it, but the rest of the week, Brooke washes the dishes.
yeah,
Now, if Brooke knows I hate washing dishes,
facts.
then she's gonna say, well, on the Monday that I cook, Mo has to wash the dishes.
Even though she know you hate it.
And even though she knows that I hate it. And it's because it gives her a day off from washing the dishes. And she knows that I hate them. So when I say, I really don't feel like washing dishes, now that makes her look at me like, okay, well, you're being selfish because I wash them the rest of the week.
Right, but one thing has nothing to do with the other though. So that's what I'm saying. Like
it doesn't, but it does. Like in some people's minds, it does.
That's fucked
because
up.
it's something as small as she like I can say, hey, I appreciate the fact that you wash the dishes.
Yeah.
And she says, I appreciate the fact that you cook. But when I say, hey, can you cook on Mondays because I really have a crazy day on Mondays? And she says, oh yeah, sure. And then she says, well, since I'm cooking dinner, when you get home, do you mind washing the dishes because I've cooked? And then I say no. I don't want to wash the dishes. It makes me look selfish.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And so then that's where the arguments start to come into play.
But you're not
something snarky gets said here, something snarky gets said there,
about to
and
say,
then now there's other little
because you're selfish
things that
because you're selfish, because you sound selfish, that doesn't mean you are selfish. So what I don't want people to get caught up in is like, you said it makes you sound selfish, and then you went on.
It does. Yeah. That's the way that the person's looking at you.
I got you.
Some people would look at you like that.
But it making you sound selfish doesn't mean that you are selfish. So I don't want you I don't want you to get away from that, because that's what you just did. You just got away from it. You was like, it makes me sound selfish. And then we started talking but you were wrong. I don't think you were wrong.
It's the way that you're taking it. Because what I'm saying is, from that person's point of view, the person who's washing the dishes all the time, and then they ask you to wash it on Monday, and you say no, that person's looking at you like you're selfish in this type of scenario.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm not saying that is selfish. That is a selfish act. What I'm saying is that in that type of toxic situation, that's how those things come about.
Okay. No, that sounds that's way better. That's way better now. Because like before, I was like, I agree with Mo the whole way. where is he going with this? And like when you said it made you sound selfish, and then you just went on like that was the right answer. I think that that's for a lot of situations. Like just because it's the last thing said, it doesn't mean that it was wrong or whatever. Because it just opens up a bigger door that maybe
Yeah.
you didn't want to talk about. You know what I mean? It was like, all right, nah, like you said, that bickering and all that other shit, that's just a big fight. But in all actuality, instead of like y'all should have talked when you sounded or she made you feel selfish or whatever. That's when the talk should have happened. Because the rest of the week would have been fly. Right?
Yeah.
The rest of the week could have went, but yeah, it's the ego that the ego makes it where it's like, oh fuck her, like I'm not doing that shit. Like I do this shit all week. You know what I mean? It's like you kick the cat, but like if you talk about it that first day, you know that's your girl. What are you doing? You know what I mean? But same thing with her. It's like, yo, you're an adult. What are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, do I think that every relationship is 50-50? No. Every relationship is different. However, I think that however the relationship works for you and for that other person is how it works. So however way you get to 50-50 or close to it, that's on you and that other person.
Right.
So we have this guy at the bowling alley who comes to Brooke every day, and he says, "Oh, why are you paying for everything and Mo isn't?" You know, and I know how Brooke feels about that. You know, because we kind of like do a lot of things where, you know, I may pay for something here, she may pay for something there, you know, but we don't keep track.
Right. I
We
feel
don't
like
really keep track.
son,
Like
that's
I'm
the
not gonna
ultimate
say,
shit.
well, I paid for dinner the last 3 times in a row, so it's your turn to pay for it.
Yeah.
You know, that's not how we work it.
Stupid.
You know, it's dumb. It's dumb. And so, I think when and she does a really good job at this. When people say things like that, she doesn't really entertain it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what a lot of people are looking for, especially in that type of environment. You know, some people are miserable because they've been single for 14, 15 years. You know, some people they think that they know best. Some people are used to telling people what they should and shouldn't do.
Yeah.
You know, but I think that people tend to forget that just because you're older than me does not mean that I'm going to listen or anyone else is going to listen to what you say or take it, take it for what it, for what you think it is. You know, some people will take it with a grain of salt and just say, "Hey, thanks for the advice," but I think I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good where I'm at now. You know, we work things out fine. But people will. I think people
Fuck
are
that
your
dude, son.
downfall.
Yeah.
Other people are your downfall in a relationship.
Right.
It's never. I don't want to say it's never the person who's in the relationship or the people who are in a relationship. I think a lot of times too, it's the people that you surround yourself with. So if you're surrounding yourself with negative people who are miserable with life, then the chances are if you have something that's even a small percentage of what they're going through,
Yeah.
then they're going to jump all over and say, "Girl, I went through this situation before, and that man is cheating. You need to get rid of him. Find you a real man that's making six figures."
Oh.
How did that come from?
Yeah. That shit don't matter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'll tell the whole audience this shit. Like that money shit. It's like the more you think about it, that's when the shit start affecting you like that. But if you don't think like not that if you should always be conscious of this shit, but like it never like really like I wouldn't choose love over that shit. I wouldn't choose that over love. Like me and my wife, we share all our bread. And then like and my wife, she's made more than me her whole career. And it's not like a problem like that. And like, you know what I mean? So I guess like I wouldn't have married her if like that was gonna be some shit. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? It's like if you to me like marriage and shit like that, like, yo, you always, like, I'm very competitive, so, like, I always want to see how deep I can do shit. And, like, to me, like, that's the ultimate sacrifice in marriage. To be like, yo, here go all my bread. Let me see all your bread. Let's go. That's the biggest shit. There's nothing else. You could be like, yo, I fucked this person. You know, they wouldn't give a fuck. They just care about the money. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I think that attitude goes alongside with what you're saying
Every day.
right? So if you're with somebody who, like, let's say that you let's say that I didn't work and Brooke did.
Yeah.
You know, so the things that she may have been attracted to me, that made her attracted to me,
Right.
maybe a couple of different things. It may not have been money. It may have been the way that I carry myself, the way that I am with people, the way, you know, it could be all of those things. We're not even going to include money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So if you do include money, and let's say that I'm not making it, let's say that I work for a non-profit organization and I'm making $15 an hour,
Like
right?
this, Play Myself show. You work here.
Right.
You work here.
I work where?
The Play Myself show. You don't get paid though.
Right. But I mean, let's say that.
Right.
I work for the Play Myself show, and I don't really get. I get paid in equipment.
Yeah.
Right.
Say
We'll
that.
say
yeah.
that.
Okay. Yeah.
And she sees that I'm ambitious about something.
Right.
But
drive. You got drive.
But I'm not realistic.
Mm.
And if I'm not realistic about things, then that taps into my ambition. That originally attracted her to me.
Talk
And
more.
let's say that I was in decent shape. Not even in great shape. I was in decent shape. But now, because I've tied myself into the show so much,
yeah,
I'm starting to gain more pounds than she's used to.
Mm.
So that taps into my ambition even more. Because I used to be ambitious. I used to have time. I would make time to go to the gym. I would make time to play basketball. I would make time to do these things.
Wait, can I pause you real quick?
And then it turns into, because of the way that I look, now I'm self-conscious about how I look, so I don't like to go around people.
Can I pause you real quick?
So that taps into my ambition.
No, I know. Can I pause you real quick?
And so,
Can I pause you real quick? I know you want to
go ahead.
Is she saying this stuff to you?
What's that?
Like, are you noticing your weight, or is she commenting on your weight to you?
It's not even that. It's that she's noticing. That's just added things that she's noticing, but you notice it too. You just don't say anything. You as a person, like me as a person, I'm not saying anything about it.
No, but is she saying anything like this to you?
No. I'm just making a point. I'm getting to that part.
Okay. No, but I'm saying the whole time she never says anything to you. You just feel it.
Yeah, no, she doesn't say anything to me about it.
Okay.
So all these things are tapping into my willingness to look and to feel great and to work out and to eat healthy. It's tapping into all those things.
Yeah.
Those are the things that originally made her attracted to me from the beginning. So now, if you have this man is not making any money. This man is not as ambitious as he used to be. He doesn't like to be around friends. He doesn't like to be around family. He doesn't take care of himself.
Right.
You know, all those things factor in, and that's where women come up with the famous line, "We're growing apart."
Oh, do you think that's where that comes from?
Yeah, that's where that comes from. Because you're not the same person who she. It's like signing a contract and you're not fulfilling a contract.
Mm.
you're not the same person who she married. You're not the same person who she fell in love with. So
Is anybody the same
as
person?
quickly as she falls in love, she can fall out of love if you don't maintain those things. So the money's not everything to some people,
Yeah.
but when you start adding all those other little small things in there, it becomes an issue, and you start thinking like, and I'm just saying the person. So
Yeah,
me and
yeah,
the
yeah.
person, I'm saying like, oh, you're gonna pick one category. So maybe I pick the category of money.
Uh-huh.
And so when she breaks up with me, I say, oh, well, she broke up with me because I'm not making enough money, and now she doesn't want to be with me. And it's like, no, that's not the only thing. That
Definitely not.
helps.
Yeah,
That
but
helps. But and I mean, people will, and this is where I'm not trying to jump on the feminist bandwagon because I'm definitely not that person.
nigga,
But
you
this is
jumping.
where I can see a lot of women's points when it comes to this. Because women will say, oh, we grew apart. Right?
Yeah.
And we're talking
You're not wrong
women
with
in
that.
there. We're talking women in there like upper 20s, 30s, you know what I mean? And up. Upper 20s and up.
Yeah.
They say, well, he's not the same person that I started
don't
out
treat me
with.
like he used
And
to, yeah.
they're absolutely right.
For sure.
Now for the most part, that's a lot of things with men. But it's not that women don't do the same thing. I'm not going to say that women don't do the same thing. I'm just saying that a lot of times, like women will complain about it. Men, rarely. They may have one friend that they might say stuff to.
So Brooke says,
But
if you truly love a person, you understand that they have highs and lows. Love is about rediscovering reasons to you fell for that person, not discovering the reasons to pull you away from them. I feel her on that shit.
yeah, I mean, yeah,
Word.
I definitely, I do. Yeah. No, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, because I agree with her in so many ways. And I want you to get back to your point, but the only thing I was like super confused about what you were saying, not even confused, but the actual steps to these motions. You see what I'm saying? To where it's like, yo, like, yeah, I understand how a person can feel away, but I know communication is key. You see what I'm saying? But I also understand how like what being passive aggressive is, and like how people like leave clues and hints and then say they're not clues and hints when you ask them about it. I understand all that shit. They're like, oh, why you reading so much in it? Nah, you did that shit because of this shit. Like, I'm not fucking crazy, right?
So
But I feel like that's what you're saying. That's what you're saying.
Like the steps is like how they've gotten there, like how didn't they communicate?
Yeah,
Is that what you're asking?
a lot of what's going, like a lot of what I see, like at least from my experience and your example, is like lack of communication, right? But a lot of the communication, if I'm catching your drift, is nonverbal. So when we act off nonverbal cues, and that's what builds the pyramid of shit is fucking up. Because if we don't communicate about shit verbally, yo, everything I do, you're gonna see fucked up after a while. Even if it's like, yo, I'm making dinner. I see you gain 30 pounds. Why am I making the fucking the lasagna with the pork fat still at the bottom?
But you know what? The thing about that, and I hate to cut you off, but the thing about that is that eventually, when you're in a relationship and you've said something, 4, 5, 6, 7 times,
like what?
Eventually it turns into nonverbal cues. And you just get tired. You would get tired. And I'm saying
you just did it to me.
from
You just did it to me just now.
from what's that?
You just did it to me just now. It's like when you say something 6, 7 times, like what?
No, like I'm saying, like in a relationship, like
Yeah, like what?
What?
Put the toilet seat down. 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 Put the toilet seat down.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
That can be something that bothers people. But if on a on a more extreme scale,
Oh, okay.
like hey, we're gonna have to pay a late fee for this if you don't pay this bill. Hey, we're gonna have to pay a late fee for this if you don't pay this bill. And you keep doing it, and then finally it turns into, well, you know what? I'll just pay the bill.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And
Go ahead.
and those types of things, it's like it's not more of you didn't do what I said to do,
Yeah.
but it's more of I already have 2 children. I don't need a third one. That's where that comes into play. There's so many different things that come into play when it comes into communication. Because as you start getting older, you say things a couple of times. You already say things a couple of times, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times to your kids, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to do it to the person who you're with and you're supposed to be in a relationship and supposed to be your equal, if not they're better, or you're, you know what I mean?
This is why
somewhere along those lines.
But this is
you don't
why
want to have to do that. And I think that's where the nonverbal cues come into play.
But this is where this becomes a circular argument to me, right? Is because like you just said, you don't, the person doesn't want 3 kids or whatever the case may be, whatever. But I feel like when you court someone and you get into, see how I'm bringing it back to court, when you get back into like that relationship or that marriage or whatever you're in, it's like your person's weak points and a strong points. So I feel like that's a form of bullying when you fucking go and you highlight them shits on the negative, especially if you know that that's that person's shit. So it's like this. So like if Noelle and I went to your crib, right? And then and like Brooke was like, yo, who the milk, somebody didn't put the cap back on the milk. And I was like, yo, that's fucking Miles. I tell him this shit all the time. Then I'm like, yo, like it's obviously a fucking a thing with me. Then you calling me out here? You know what I'm saying? So like that's how I see what you just said in a different way.
Yeah, but you know what? The thing is how many times has she said something to you about you putting the cap on the milk? So she knows
hundreds,
that's a problem with you.
Hundreds.
That is just something where not only are you doing it at the house, but you do it at somebody else's house, and it just brings it back. And that causes resentment. That causes that friction.
Right.
Something like that. It's just a constant reminder. You know, while I'm not saying that is the right thing to do, I'm just stating what I see and how I feel about it. I feel like these are things that go on that can be toxic. Help me out here, Miles. Activities or
just behavior, bro. Like just the behavior in general. The behavior in general, and this is not to bring it on a toxic thing. I feel like at least what we're talking about right now is a dialogue to show, because we both take different opinions both times on each event, but it's to show you how communication fails in most methods, right? To the point, I guess my whole point to wrap this part up is like when you start resorting to nonverbal, to me, that's flight right there. That's where it's like, yo, I can't talk to you, so I'm gonna show you every fucking time. So like, why are we here if we can't talk?
Yeah, I mean, I can go down a laundry list of things that people do that they shouldn't be doing. Like, and I'm just going to use one example. Like, parents only one parent is doing the work. Right?
Nah, but we talk about playing myself show, son. Don't do that. Don't do that, Mo, because you're gonna break it. You're gonna put parents.
I'm just using this as an example.
All right.
Right?
You gonna see
So what I'm saying is this is something that causes friction. It's not something that I'm saying is what's going on. I'm saying these are things that that a parent may look at and be like, yo, damn, I'm doing most of the work.
Well, damn.
And it's no communication. Bringing it back to what you were saying.
Right.
You're not really saying enough. And then when you do say something, sometimes they'll respond to it, sometimes they won't. But that's just an example of something that causes friction in a relationship. You know, one parent might feel that you're not doing enough. The other parent might feel like, hey, I'm doing just fine. Right? So like that's a conversation.
No, that's my exact point. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. That is the exact point. But again, and I'll stress on this again, is like when you get to that level where it's not a conversation and it's just radio silence, and or I'm gonna leave my towel on the fucking I'm gonna leave my towel on the floor. I don't give a fuck. Then it's like, yo, were we arguing about a towel on the floor? You see what I'm saying? No, this is real shit though. That's real shit. Right?
Yeah. No, I understand.
But
I get it.
It could be sought in like every area of life. It doesn't even have to be a relationship, right? Any relationship you have is a relationship. It doesn't have to be like your partner. So where it's like if you can't communicate with your team and you can't communicate with everybody, where it's like, oh, I used to hate that shit when I worked, right? And people used to say, oh no, leave it like that. He likes it like that, or she likes it like that. I'm like, yo, I don't give a fuck how he or she likes it. Like, yo, they didn't tell me that, but it's like, yo, if whoever likes it like that has y'all under a trance, yo, to me that's a technique. I look at that shit like a technique. Where it's like, oh, we know the boss so well, he likes it like that. The fuck out of here! Like, what you mean he likes like that? Like, unless you his wife, and like it's like a treat. We all not catering to this motherfucker like how he like it. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. No, you're right.
But you see how it's the same?
Yeah. No, I mean, definitely. But you know, that's just my spiel on some relationships and how they can take a turn for the worse. I don't even know how we got on this topic.
Nah, bro, that's part.
But you know how it's that play myself. So that's why we'll get on a topic. We're 20 minutes out of time.
Nah, bro. Nah, we had to give it back because we was fucking around for 20 minutes. So when I edit this shit, it could go out as an hour. Because most of our people like don't watch this shit, bro. It's like most people listen. So that was something I really wanted to unpack, like kind of like try to unpack with you, because it was like, yo, like I definitely understand. And you know what? I'm kind of tight at Miss Mimi real quick, because this is something that I was like, yo, we gonna get Miss Mimi gonna give us the other way, because me and her think alike, and she didn't say shit about it. She just sent us a heart. I don't know what that heart means. You see what I'm saying? Like, she's trying to do, basically she's doing the shit that we talk about. Because she sends a heart, right? But like, you could know what a yellow heart means. Somebody else could know what a yellow heart means. I don't know what it means. So now we all thinking, and all we see is her face, and then she's like, you know what I mean? So like now my fucking brain is racing. But it's only because I brought to that.
I mean, the thing about it is, it's all about comfortability, right?
Yeah.
And so, you can. That's the nice thing about having a show is, you know, somebody can come in, they can listen, they can watch. You know, they may send an emoji. You know what? That's more than some people would do.
Right.
You know, so with that said, it's like, hey, she can talk whenever she wants, whenever she feels like she wants to talk about something. And I know that that's not what you were saying. You weren't saying that she has to talk.
No,
You
she
know, so
does.
I don't
Yeah.
want to throw that out there like that's
It's
what you
love.
were
Yeah.
doing. But what I'm saying is, and I think I can say I think that I speak for both of us when I say that everyone's opinion matters.
Right.
The comments are there so that you guys can give your feedback. So when we know that there are people in the comments that have real good feedback, and we want to hear that feedback, and we don't hear it, it's almost like
How we accept it is different.
it's almost like some of the things I'm like, oh, you know what? This is gonna be a good topic for this person.
Right.
This is gonna be a good topic for this one. And when they don't say anything, it's like because me and Miles have, there's been times where we'd be talking during the week and we'd say, oh, you know what? We talked about this, but this person didn't say anything about it.
Yeah.
I wonder what their feedback is.
Yeah.
So
We
value
doing the
your
game.
we value what your feedback is.
Yeah.
But whether your feedback is on the comments or if you don't give your feedback, that's fine. But we do pay attention to the comments. We pay attention to what you guys are saying. And I think a lot of the questions have now, because some of you have been with us for so long, and we appreciate you and we love you guys, that we now cater certain things
To the day one.
to what it is that you will respond to.
Right.
And so it's just like anything. As you start getting closer and as you start seeing people every day, you start to cater to them opposed to somebody who hasn't really been there. I mean, we welcome everyone. Don't get it twisted, but we definitely do cater to the people who have been here and who support us, and so I think that's what Miles was saying is that when we don't see a comment, it's usually a question that comes up during the week.
Right.
Damn, like this Mimi didn't say nothing, man.
No,
Like,
I really think that.
not to force you, just
because I really
it's definitely something that we're used to seeing, and we love your feedback.
And I value opinions, bro. Like I value her opinion. I value Brooke's, but I value everyone's opinion. So like, especially like if I think I'm thinking something that's like not off the wall, but like just like the conversation we just had, like I look at all facial, body language, everything as forms of communication. But I know the most effective way to communicate is verbally or maybe even writing, whatever. But I wouldn't even say writing because certain texts, like now you could get fly with your text to where you can have somebody's brain racing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yo,
Yeah.
if you can't talk to someone, and that's the real shit. If you can't speak to somebody, somebody you love or even don't love, like you can't speak to them, like you're wasting your time and their time. Big facts.
Yeah. I agree.
Just even being in their life. Or
Yeah.
oh, she said, oh,
Right.
So Brooke said something that's dope. Topic suggestions also welcome to Play Myself Facebook page. Yeah, we could do that, and I'm gonna start a Discord. Even though like whatever the case may be, we just gonna build. I'm gonna build everything. We're gonna build everything until the shit is until it's right. But yeah, like any topics, anything that people have, like as you see, like on the podcast, especially we have this magic on remote when it's in studios is a lot better. But anything can lead to anything, like topic wise. And like I still have mad questions for Mo and everyone else about this same topic. But that's something that, we'll have to address on another time probably. But yeah, it's definitely something that I encourage everybody to think about how they are doing in their lives as far as communication. Because I think communication is something that no one is 100% perfect at either. And we can all get better at it. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think that communication is the key to every great relationship, and that's the hardest thing to do because sometimes you don't want to hurt people. Sometimes people don't. They You can have a person. Let's say somebody like Miles. I'm going to use you as an example on this.
I'm a perfect
You have a
example.
person like Miles who's as blunt and as outspoken as anyone.
As they
Now,
come.
if he was with somebody who gets offended by everything, it's not going to work. It's just not something that really works because now it's okay. Do I hold my tongue for this person, or do I just let it, let it go and just say whatever? Somebody's not going to be happy in that situation, and that's why when people say opposites attract, I don't agree.
Nah, that's not a fact. So me and my wife is the complete opposite, bro. At
I don't
100%.
I don't
100%.
agree.
No, but like you said,
but I don't. That's my opinion. I don't agree with. There are, and this is what I was going to get into.
Go ahead.
Is there are certain people, there are certain cases that are one-off situations.
Yeah.
But you and I both know that there are a lot of situations where you may have two people that are complete opposites. One may be humble, one is not. And it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because they're just too different.
That's what my mom said. My mom said,
but
yeah,
then there
both
are
sides.
some people who come together
Yeah.
and they can make it work.
Yeah.
But I think those people that they can make it work, they're the ones that say that they're the complete opposite, but they'd be very surprised at how many things are alike about themselves. And I think those people who feel that they're complete opposites, they need to, take a quiz together. See how opposite they are.
Yeah, once you supposed to get that quiz together, rocking for us? I'll take it on this shit.
We're gonna do a survey.
Yo, let's do this. So, if you, like, say you want to do a personality survey or a regular survey, whatever. Or want me to find a free survey? So what I'm gonna do is this, and you could do it too, if you want to do it first, or you want to take charge with it. Let's find a survey, right? Let's put it in the Facebook group. Everybody take it. Everybody, like, it's like 100. Was like 200 people in there? As many people as we can get to take it, right? They take it.
Yeah.
And then we just come in with the results, and whoever wants to talk about their results, we'll make that a call-in show.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. I think something like that should be a call-in show.
Yeah,
we can have all the heavy hitters. We can have Brooke.
No, but what I'm saying is, I need mine. I need mine by myself.
Huh?
So I think that you and I, like, you should do, like, I'll read your results to you and, like, see if you can explain it, and you can read mine to me, see if I can explain it, or if I know what it is, and then we could take turns, or the audience can do themselves, or like we could take turns and do this, or we could do this together.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that works.
Where I got some good joints. Like, my homegirl, she gave me like a going cost $10 now, and it should take like 3 hours to do. I do them shits all the time. I know my personality.
Well. All right. Any last words, Miles?
No, man. I think this is a pretty good show. Minus the
Don't even do it.
Being real, bro.
Don't even do it.
Don't
do it.
Other than that, so listen. Any suggestions? Like, I just got. I don't know if I need a new chair or whatever, but this chair is not doing it for me. But I got it. We want to definitely continue on these same type deals, and I want to try to go deeper, man. Like, if we could, but I think that we're kind of shaping in our niches now, and like, this is growth, I would say, you know.
I agree.
But what say you?
I agree. Hey, thank you guys for watching. We're on every Wednesday at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. sharp. My apologies again for the technical difficulties. Hopefully we'll be on earlier, and I'll be on earlier to try to work out the kinks. But hey, it is what it is. We work things out. We got through it tonight. We had a longer show. Thank you guys in the comments, and we'll see you next week.
Ow. Bye, guys.